Joining me now is Michael Weiner, because the feds have cut interest rates the third time in a very short period of time right here. I think that's what the case is, right, Michael? They just cut the interest rates for the third time since they're in their third time in a row since in their meetings, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so what are interest rates setting at tonight?
Excuse me?
What are interest rates setting at then tonight? Any idea? Average?
Right now, it's right around closer. It should be 5.5, somewhere in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem that exists out of it is with the people who literally stepped out of it. What our dear friend Jerome Powell did was turn around and was very hawkish on his position. He wasn't supportive of the administration. He was very political in how he handled it all. He's been that way. He's really a piece of garbage. He's one of the worst guys we've ever had. But the markets did not embrace what he did, and I think it's going to be another nail in the coffin of what I see happening next year. I think next year, based on his move and also the Genius Act, which goes into effect January 1, and people don't understand the Genius Act is the beginning of digital currency in America. President Trump put that in there to get us in line with the rest of the world for a digital world. He also did something in that bill which was very interesting. He made it clear that's part of the law that the Federal Reserve will have no say-so in the printing or not printing, but the development and issuing of digital currency. It'll all be done by the Treasury Department, which will give him the opportunity to devalue the dollar. It's going to be a very dangerous year next year economically, and people better wake up to it. What they've seen with the Federal Reserve today, what they saw also in Miami, first time in 30 years, a Democrat won. In New Mexico, a Democrat won. All of these other races. If these Republicans don't pay attention to what's going on, Mendami is now backing somebody against one of his own Democratic people, Dan Goldman. Mm-hmm. We're going to be in the midst of World War III economically, with the Democrats trying to throw every monkey wrench they can into the economy before the November 26th election. And what this administration is doing about it is very little.
Oh, yeah.
Very little.
I can tell you now, Republicans are very skilled at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. They will screw it up, that because the right and the left, there is no difference. There's a few, but for the most part, it is one bird. It is a Hegelian dialectic. It is manipulation. They sell you the same garbage over and over. It is all a shell game. It is all fraud. It is all a scam. It is all a Ponzi scheme that enriches them, benefits them, and screws the American people. That's my opinion. I agree with G. Edward Griffin. There is really no difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. Yes, some of them are pro-life, they say. Others are pro-abortion. I get all that. But at the end of the day, aside from a few, and some of those are important issues, major issues, actually. But apart from that, they're all playing the same game. And it's funny how many of them are pro-life while they're politicians, but in their private life, they're not, from what I hear from some of them. How some of them are for the family and against the whole LGBTQ gay agenda, but privately, some of them, I think, are a little on the, light in the loafer side, you know what I mean? So a lot of folks like to appear all friendly and Christian friendly and family friendly, but when the veil gets pulled back, you find out this is all just like Hollywood. It's all an act. It's like walking onto the set and it looks great, and then you go behind, it's cut out figures with 2x4s propping it up, stilts. So I frankly don't trust the political system. I don't believe in the political system. I only believe in protecting yourself and God. In God we trust, all others cash, as the old saying goes. I don't trust him. I'm done. Personally, I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent. I don't endorse candidates, but I have no hope in the Republican Party or anyone to fix the problems, because I don't think it's in their desire to fix the problems. I think what they're trying to do is to enslave us with one manufactured crisis after another. At the end of the day, I think the Republicans are just as evil as the Democrats. And maybe more so, because at least the Democrats will tell you they're for killing babies and for homosexual garbage and all that stuff, whereas the Republicans will lie to your face while they hold a Bible.
Well,
that was a pretty good rant, Logan. Wasn't that one a good one? That's a pretty good one.
That was a good one. I'll go with you're done.
I got to finish with you. I got to finish. That's all. I'm done. That's how Michael
Thank
Weiner.
you. I wrote that book.
You wrote
But
that.
let me carry this example even further of what you're saying. People are asleep at the wheel in this country. You know, you think I had a worldview client I was talking today, two of them. One of them, I told them, I said, out of the many I do talk to, I was called up and they said, "Were you just trying to sell me today, Michael?" I said, "No. What did I tell you? I call you up for one specific reason, is to let you know ahead of time. I'm not going to wait till the bullet hits you. I didn't mention the word buy. I mentioned the word to sit back and reassess your position. If you don't have enough gold, or if you're hanging out too much in the banking system, which is in the back pockets of the globalists, you're in trouble. And this coming year is going to be one of the deepest trouble years we've had in history. And one of the other people that asked me, what's going to happen if they start trying to capture up gold again? I'm hearing all types of stories. You know, the stories about back in the day of the pharaohs when they marked the houses which they were going to take the babies from. Guess what? If you have numismatic gold, you're a pass. That law, which was the Democrats' law, exists and protects you. That's why we talk about it. But when you're talking about the issues that are happening right now and the demoralization and breakdown of the moral fiber of America, I'll even go one step further. Go back to the demise of the gold system. Back in 1971, when Richard Nixon, with his cronies, both Democrat and Republican, took us off the gold system, what happened? We had no congressman that worked 50 years in Congress prior to 1971. We had no senators that hang around for 30 years in Congress prior to 1971, when we were under the gold standard, because they had no power, they had no worthless money. When we went off the gold standard in 1971, we became a powerless, fakeless nation where our money was worthless. It was monopoly money. When you talk about barter, we started bartering from 1971. That was the biggest devaluation in the history of this nation. What happened after 1971? The Nancy Pelosi's, the Joe Bidens, the Nadlers, the Schumers, they all came into existence because they had blank checkbooks. Nobody was controlling them. And then what happened after 1971? We had Roe v. Wade, and they gave the American people the right to kill babies. Was no problem after that to kill marriages. What happened to the marriage and the family unit? Started totally falling apart. You check the demise and breakdown, Brandon, of divorces in America, and it tracks back all the way to 1973, 74, and just doubles and doubles and doubles. Because if you can kill babies, you can kill marriages. And at the end of the day, we have a system right now in this country that some people are going to be in for a big hit. I'm looking at the stock market going down 35% next year. Corrections are going to happen. And then toppled with what's going on here, if you have enough gold in you, and if you're a client of ours and you feel comfortable, great. If you need to spend time right now and review your portfolio and review your life, call up. I'll spend the time, or I'll have Chris spend the time and gather the information to help you. But if you sit back and wait till the bullet hits you, you will call me and you will pay me $5,000 for gold that I could have sold you at $4,200 and $4,300.
Indeed.
That's my opinion.
Silver
I'm done.
I'm done. We're going to have some mugs printed that say that. Not to mention, as you enjoy your Christmas Starbucks there.
Thank you.
What is it? Is a Swiss latte, a pumpkin spice latte?
It's black coffee. I don't do all that fancy stuff.
Me neither. It's like
somebody said, get me some coffee, so they got me coffee. At Starbucks. I like to go to Dirty Joe's.
I've never heard of Dirty Joe's, but
it's down around the corner.
Okay. It is like drinking perfume, though, in my opinion, this pumpkin spice latte, but my wife loves it. Yeah. She loves it. She loves it.
No.
What was I going to say, Michael? Here is a clip of Larry Fink. Isn't he the now chairman or the head of the World Economic Forum now, Larry Fink? Isn't that his job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here he is. Listen to this.
I would say
the also with BlackRock
from central banks is, what is the role of tokenization and digitization? How quickly should they think about digitizing their own currency? What does that mean for the role of the dollar if every currency digitizes and we have what does that mean for bank payments? What does that mean for the payment companies like MasterCard and Visa? All these are being questioned right now. I think we spend so much time talking about AI. We're not spending enough time talking about how quickly we're going to tokenize every financial asset and the opportunity we're going to have a digital wallet and moving ETFs and other things through a digital wallet. And I think that's going to happen worldwide very rapidly. And I think most countries are ill-prepared for that and underappreciate how technology is changing that, not unlike how technology is changing AI. I would say the biggest...
All right, so there you go. He's telling us over and over there's going to be digitization. The largest wealth management company in the world says the digitalization of all and financial assets will be stored in digital wallets. It will happen worldwide. It will happen very rapidly. Yeah. And by the way, I was talking to Tom Renz last night. I was texting with Joe Allen yesterday. They're telling me this system is basically complete. The whole digital system, the Great Reset, the whole dystopian, basically digital Gestapo system they're creating is basically all complete. There's only a little bit more to be done, and they can roll it out and put us all on it. And a good orchestrated financial collapse could be used to do that.
Exactly. Well, they want this. They, in some respect, the president would like to see a collapse in the stock market. That gives them a chance to follow up with the devaluation that they want to do and use that as a means of bringing things back. Sending people out $2,500 is not a solution. It's only a Band-Aid. It's going to make people, give them a little sense of having a quick buck. But all of these things, Larry Fink, by the way, is a member of BlackRock. That's who he is. And we all know about BlackRock. The question is why did the government put him in that type of position when he's involved with BlackRock? And he plays both sides of the street. Doesn't make any sense, but that's what's going on. The globalists are getting ready. They're all moving in, doing things and making moves and put in everything they can to restructure currencies and debt be gone. The only way they can get rid of this $38 trillion in debt is to devalue the dollar. That's as simple as it is. Devaluing the dollar, and that's exactly how it's going to happen. And there's no way around it. None.
No way around it. So, Mr. Weiner, how much will this rate cut actually benefit Americans? Is it going to do anything? Is it going to help anything?
I think there might be strangely enough, the treasuries are so high. You would think treasuries would be going down when this is happening, and it's not. So that's sort of concerning, especially the way that Jerome Powell, touted on this whole situation and played it very hawkishly. It wasn't a big positive for the market. So I don't think it's going to be a huge positive for the economy initially. The mortgage market, I don't know if it's going to make a huge amount of difference until Mirren, who is a guy that was Trump's guy, he stepped out of voting for this because he wanted it to be a half a point to make it more substantive. Making it a quarter of a point, I just think it's going to be a twig and a forest fire. I don't think it's going to do a heck of a lot of real stability and strength. That I think you're going to see Trump come out and be very upset. He'll be happy they did something, but it's not a solution. And the Federal Reserve isn't going to change till next May. So they're going to be running around right now and trying to play who's got the potato and try to figure out how to make this economy look better. People were used to this economy that Trump had his first term in office. It was wonderful. It was great. It was spectacular. And then COVID hit. And now we're looking at the stuff that's going on right now. And these people are comparing that. They're not happy. There's stuff you can blame on Biden. There's no doubt he did what he said. He created this mess. There's no doubt about it. But the solution that they have with these tariffs, initially doing what they did, I said it before, lower the tariffs on bananas and other things that people need every day. You're destroying us with prices, and people go to the grocery store and they still don't see any relief. That's the problem. So I can only say I don't see any big, huge positive coming out of this at all right now. I think, like I said, we're heading into a very tumultuous 2026. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think these Mondanis and the rest of these people are liars and two-faced. I think that they, on their end, are socialists, which is not even a two-party. They're socialists. And they're going to want to sit back and restructure America and throw the Constitution down the drain. And then you got the Republicans on the other end who are walking around trying to be ladies and gentlemen in the middle of a gunfight and playing both sides against the middle. So we're in the middle of a very hellacious year ahead of us. And it's a very important period of time for people to, I know they don't want to. I know it's Christmas time. Trust me, I don't want to either. But it's a point of time in life where you've got to pay attention, because some people, and where the money is in this country is in people who are retired or over 65 or over 60. And those people are the targets. You've got too much money. No matter how much you have in the bank, you've got too much and you need to share it.
That's their mentality. Yeah, that's their mentality. 100%.
Correct.
And of course, the interest rates might help people in one regard, but it's a double-edged sword because now it creates more inflation, correct?
Correct. That's the concern. So it's a confusing period of time.
Did gold and silver go up today on this news?
The gold market went up, and so did silver. The stock market sort of took a questionable hit.
The silver's well over, I mean, gold's well over $4,200 an ounce. Silver is at like $61.85 last I checked.
Correct. And then the stock market rebounded on the statement of some of the other majors because they play with the numbers. It's amazing what they do with the numbers. Initially, it took a nosedive, and now it's up like 450 or 490 points.
62, almost $62 an ounce for silver, though, Michael.
These hedge fund managers right now, I said it'd be over 60 by year end.
You did.
Here we are.
You did.
I said it. And
where is silver and gold going to be next year, Michael? Remind us what you said.
I said it last week. 55, 5,800 on gold, $90 to $100 on silver. If the Democrats win in November, 6,000 on gold and over 100 on silver, because it's just going to go crazy. But the gold market went up afterwards. The stock market went up, and they made it. It's amazing. But what's really interesting is that the hedge fund boys that didn't exist until the 80s, all these billionaire hedge fund people, they were nothing. When I started off as a stockbroker, hedge funds didn't exist. Hedge funds are all market traders, and they make millions every day, no matter if you win or lose. They make themselves richer and richer every day. And when they see a problem, they go in and juggle the numbers. That's why when the hit happens, a lot of people won't be ready for it, but they will, because they'll run it down. Those hedge fund managers will make money when it comes down, literally. Sort of, it's sort of like the second Wall Street movie. Money never sleeps. That's what happens. The guy who was on the other a hedge fund guy was making double dipping because he was making money when the market was collapsing and the Fed was supporting it on the other end.
All right, Michael Weiner, check it out here. If you want to get some free information on precious metals, gold, silver, bullion, which is freshly minted, or numismatic, that's 1933 and older, which comes with a lot of privacy, or put gold in your IRA. All the information is there, right there, 1-877-864-1072, 1-877-864-1072, or just fill out the form at worldviewgold.com. And the information will be on its way. All you got to do is fill out that form. Worldviewgold.com. It's almost $62 an ounce for silver. Well, you said it was going to happen, Michael, and it did.
That's true. That's
true. That's all. That's it. That's all. I'm done. You want to see Dolly? You want to see Dolly? Logan, show him Dolly.
Yes, I would like to, because she needs to see me. It's enriching for her.
It's educational. Yeah, look at that. She's very interested in your talk.
Well,
tonight.
she's done too.
Yeah, she's out. She's like, I'm done.
She's relaxing. She needs to relax. She needs her rest. She's bothered all day long, and this
Yep.
is her time to get rest.
Yep, it is. She's out like a light.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
All righty. Have a good night.